about some KT stuff, and then I'll have Samir come up and close this down. All right, so what's the carryback? Okay, let me start with, I know you work with Xander. Do you know what an appointment is? It's that kind of day, guys. All right, but I'm just kidding. Do you know what a carryback is? Do you know what a carryback is? You know what carryback is? What is this? Yes, he knows what carryback is. He doesn't close any of those. Like, you got carryback, you got a third, you got a fourth, you got a fifth, another commercial, and then that's so it goes both ways, guys. What's a carryback?
When you meet with the client or potential client for the second time.
The second time. Okay, so right, there's I don't know. People that go on appointments, how many do you think, like the first time meeting them, you're going to do the application? What do you think the percentage is?
For me?
Yeah, the first time.
The first time, less than 50%.
Okay. So, when I did the business, like less than 10% I ever closed them on the first. Now, I'm not saying that's good or bad, that's just my experience. And some of you guys are incredible, and I really mean that, at closing them right away, getting them some protection, getting them applied to coverage, and there's a place for both. Either way, close on the first, close on the second, you should meet with the client a second and third time. Okay? Why do we want to meet with the client second and third time?
Oh, that way you can, they can become clients for life.
Yes, that's a great, he said, that way they can become clients for life. This isn't a wham, bam, thank you, man. Okay? You gotta lock them in. You want a client, that's a great saying, for life. You want a long-term client. Someone that's gonna stay with you for years, decades. And so, the initial courting experience, first, second, third, delivering a policy, doing their rollover, getting them set up, it's very, very important. You're laying a great foundation for people, okay? Especially that first and second appointment. Why else do we want to meet with a client? Referrals, right? You want to get referrals, man. You want to get great introduction of clients. They trust you. They did business with you. They gave you their bank account information. They started their kids' college with you. They rolled over their life savings. They know other clients. They know other people in that situation. And they have credibility. My Google who wrote the book Freakonomics. So in my neighborhood, you know how like people that have a driveway, you know what a driveway is? I gotta make sure, I don't know. Ben's looking at it. You know, people like they tar their driveway, right? It costs probably like $150. So in my neighborhood, we had this craze around COVID where they were like re-asphalting the driveway. They weren't tarring it. They were digging it up with a little mini tractor and putting down road concrete. Okay? So, you got like this, it's so stupid, right? You got like this shitty looking driveway and this really nice jet black, matte black concrete. Okay? So the guy was coming around. This is a guy who's a entrepreneur, owns the thing, has the pavement. He's knocking on everybody's door. It's like, hey, my equipment's already out here. I've already done all your neighbors, and I'm looking down the street. I'll give you a good deal. And I was like, nah, get out. Right? And I was like, worried, just get out, because if my wife hears, we're done. It's like $6,000 gone. She'll do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, do that. No, we'll pay full price. So, yeah, right? But, and he's like, I already have the equipment, I did your neighbor for $6,200, I'll do you for $5,200. Right, so then I start, at the bus stop, this is all we're talking about. Did you get your driveway done? Get your driveway done? Get your driveway done? And then I start looking at the price. And I was like, how much did you pay? How much did you pay? And then one of my neighbors like, you told me not to tell. I got it, $5,100. Don't say it's me, but maybe you could get that. And now I'm thinking like, maybe I should do it. And so like I talked to my neighbor who runs like a company, Chris, his business partner, and then he was like, yeah, it's funny. And this is like, these guys play at a high level, right? And he's like, yeah, we had the guy that like did our annual conference. He's like, yeah, have you ever read the book? And he's a nice guy. He said it very humbly. He wasn't trying to like flex, but he's like, yeah, this guy he wrote this book. He didn't even know how he's like, Freakonomics. He said, yeah, he closed us down. Like this is how big these guys are. And he said, the number one thing in doing business is what we were talking about. It's like, it's not whether we need it, it's like if your neighbors have it. I never would have done it and I didn't do it, right? I resisted it. But what compelled me to even think about it is every single one of my neighbors doing it, I was like, I'm missing out. I have to do it. So when you have a client that replaces their policy, that rolls over, that gets into a new product, everybody else wants to do it. And when you have a center of influence or like a client that has any sort of credibility in their community, you can get 5, 10 clients. I don't want to say easily, but you can get them. Okay? So that's another reason why we meet back. Why else do we meet back? More business. More products. Lock in the client. And I'm not just talking about for life, I'm talking initially because I've gotten business with people, I haven't met with them, they didn't feel, I needed a signature, I never got it. So I didn't even actually fully get the client. So when we used to do business a long time ago, we couldn't quote immediately. It was very difficult, so you had to do a carryback. And that helped us because we had to prepare the client for 2 meetings. Okay? So in that first meeting, we had to show value. We had to get commitments. And we had to lock in, right? Like when I tie my shoes, right? When I tie my son's cross-country spikes, we use a double knot. We don't use a single knot. Why don't we use a single knot? It's going to come loose. And then you're going to be running your race, you're going to be tripping, you got to get down and tie it in. We tie it twice. That's called a double knot. To make sure it doesn't come undone. So we had to do that. Because, we weren't like incredible closers. You had a close, you came and we were like, all of you guys were really excited, man, I went on this great appointment. So, we want to say, hey, when are you going back? When we write it down, right? Okay, Dante, Thursday. When Thursday night comes around, say, hey, did you get that appointment? And if he didn't get that appointment and go back, he'd be embarrassed. And we clown him for that. Oh, what happened to that close? Ha, ha, ha. That's how we did business. We bullied people. All right? It was very effective. Okay? And so Dante just wanted to learn so he didn't get clowned in training. Okay? So you have to do these things, and there's an art form. You still have to do some of the concepts, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the language we used. And you can use this even sometimes when talking to a client to set up an appointment or how to get a referral, right? So explain the process that we have in place to help people. Let me tell you how I work. I don't charge for my time. I spend as much time with you as you need. I use a cutting-edge digital tool that works like a GPS, but it's for your money. It's going to show you exactly how to get from where you are to where you want to go. It will give you simple to follow action steps, and in time, as we work together over the years, it will reroute as needed. It's amazing. Once you see this, you're going to worry less and enjoy your life more. Then after I help you implement this, you can reach me anytime you need me, right? And like I said, you can use some of this phraseology at all times when you're talking to people. You can reach me anytime, right? You know, obviously, you know this about Samir. You can reach him. You don't know where he is, but he'll pick up his phone. He will. I'm like, dude, you don't have to pick up, but he does. He'll call me, hey, this client did this, you know. You gotta be available. I know it sucks, but you gotta be available. And after you implement this, you can reach me anytime you need me, and of course, I stay in touch with you. The goal is to help you make lots of smart choices, so one day you have enough money that works for you, so you don't have to. All I ask in return is two things, okay? Now this is very important. When I sit down with a client that first time, and I wanna come back, I use this all the time, right? First, that you let me help you implement any changes you need to make. I am gonna work really hard on this plan, and when we come back, all I'm gonna ask you is two things. First, I'm gonna make some recommendations. When we come back, these recommendations make sense for you, you let me help you implement any changes you need to make. And then you're gonna throw some stuff out there, right? You may need an IRA, rollover for your old 401k, sorry, I should put rollover for your old 401k, a new investment account, or maybe, love this, improving your life insurance. If they don't have life insurance, you get those, getting you some protection that you talked about. I represent lots of great brand name quality companies, and much like Amazon, they compensate me for connecting you to them. Does that make sense? And second, that you take the time to introduce me to others. By doing this, it frees me up from spending time on marketing so I can spend time with you. Are you comfortable with that? If you're like most people, you're pretty busy, I've designed a program where we can meet twice online using Zoom, about an hour each time, and by the end of the second meeting, you will have most everything in place you need. It's super convenient because you don't have to leave your house. That's obviously for you guys that are doing most of your appointments. I think most people are doing most of their appointments on Zoom. We've already completed our first meeting. You just want to make sure your spouse is at those meetings. For married people, it's really important both are there. Any questions for me? Okay. Dollar commitment, I'll go through this. I went through this the other week, and you know, with some of my newer agents, and they were a little confused here, so let's recap it. So, when we sit down with people, and I know, like I said, you may not have seen this a bunch of times, because some people close and they do business on the first. Either way, you have to come back on the second, and you're trying to do more business, right? So say I get your parents to apply for a policy, but I want to come back and do a financial plan for them. Okay. So I'm going to try to get a dollar commitment, or I'm going to get a dollar commitment. How much money can they commit to their plan? Rod, how much per month could you set aside over and above what you are already doing to put towards your program? Rod, what does your program mean? I know it means your program, but what's the words behind the words? Do you know?
No.
Okay, good answer. Dante, help them out.
They already have ownership of it, if you're saying your plan and then their.
Yes, and then sometimes if we need to elaborate on your program, what do we say? You know? Huh? Anybody know? That's good, I'm glad.
Are you trying to identify the L program?
So if I say, Rod, how much money, how much per month could you set aside over and above what you're already doing to put towards your program? If I see they're a little puzzled, I said, remember we had spoken about a 529? And that's where I'm gonna personalize it to them. You said you wanted to have something in place so your wife and kids would be okay if something happened to you. Remember we talked about the Roth IRA, you're really excited about that. So how much can you put towards your plan? That's what that means. You're recapping things that you covered during the appointment that are applicable to them. Specific, if you need to. Most of the time I do it. I would say 90% of the time I'm gonna say something about their plan, so they know. See, you're not spending, I remember one time Bruce said this to me, right? And he goes, you're not spending money. He goes, investing money is different. You're getting the money back. See, when you put in $100 a month, and $1,200 a year, and you let it sit and it comes back at $5,000, you're not spending the money, you're investing the money. So, see, they think this plan is a bill. It's not a bill. It's your retirement plan. It's your kids' college. It's your wealth creation plan. It's your program to pay off this debt that's stressing you out. If we don't have a plan to pay off your debt, and I'm not trying to be stupid about this, I'm being serious, but this family might not be here. Because I can tell, man, this is tense right now. So we need to put some money to your program for you. And we're going to say it like that. We're just going to remind them. Your plan. This is for your plan. Remember you had said, you had that old 401k that you wanted to think about. So how much money can you put? Now, they're going to be thinking about this. Okay? Now we're going to give them an alternative choice and kind of a similar situation, right? And we're going to give them percentages. 10, 15, 20%. Okay? We're not going to let them answer. If I say how much money can you put to the program, what are they going to say at Smallville? Huh?
They'll tell me like, what's the minimum you can do?
Yes, thank you. That's such a great answer, right? What's the minimum? I failed. You don't get it. This is not this ain't a bill, man.
What I say to them, what's the minimum retirement you wanna live
Yeah.
with? You wanna have ramen noodles, or you wanna have
Be careful, man. These guys eat ramen.
No, but the different type of ramen. There's the high-end ramen.
Sign me up. You seen The Office? Oh, look at the camera. It's all ramen. We lock it up. Because Xander and Josh and I, they'll steal the ramen. So don't say ramen. Do something else that, it's not enticing for people. But yes, right? They'll say, I've had people say $20. I've never had somebody say, but I guess, yes, that's true. What's the minimum? No, we failed here, right? We didn't do a good job of communicating to the client that why this is so important. So we do percentages because if you ask for a dollar amount, you're going to get something very low, $50, $100, and that's. Could you work with 100? Could you work? Absolutely, you can. But then you have to reverse engineer it, right? So we say 10, 15, 20%. People that are super committed, their finances are already, for the most part, set. They usually can put away 20%. For families who have their higher expenses, their income's not quite, they're kind of in the middle, 15%. And for families just starting out, they want to start their plan, they're excited about it, but, there's still some uncertainty in terms of their income, 10%, right? I'll never forget this, I don't know if you remember this, Samir, but, we were listening to a financial advisor. I don't think he's with the company anymore, he's more than that, but he said something, he's like, yeah, sometimes I would just say this to a client and say, hey, yeah, people that have your income and your professions, he was talking about doctors, he really was going to wealthy. He's like, yeah, they can invest, what do you say, $5,000 a month? And the client's like, okay, I can do it. So part of another reason you ask is you don't know what answer you're going to get.
Right.
Some of them can do $500 a month. Some of them can do $1,000 a month. And so don't let your own personal financial blueprint make up the mind for a client. You don't know what they can save. So most people, I'd say 90%, hey, let's just start with 10% and say, okay, hey, will you guys combine? You make $6,000 a month each, that's $12,000. So 10% is about $1,200. Okay, got a poker face. You can't smile, you can't smirk, you can't say, yeah, man, I'm getting $500 a month for insurance, right? Because one, they haven't committed to it, but you know, just say $1,200 a month. You're calm. Your job is to de-escalate their emotions, right? This is where you're making your money. They're usually going to get a little nervous at $1,200 a month, and you can tell them kind of fidgeting, right? And they're going to be a little like, and then what do? We kind of walk them down, and you throw them a life jacket. Hey Dante, if $1,200 is too much, I understand. What I'd like to do is start small and work our way up. Because if you start too big, even though logic says just reduce it, you won't, you'll cancel it altogether. I want to start small and work up. So if $1,200 is too much, what number do you feel a little bit more comfortable with? Okay, now you don't go right away and say $25, $50, okay? You don't do that. That's not how you do it. If their number's 12, you walk them down. Say, you know, is 1,000 or 900 a little bit better? And you still see that he's squeamish. And say, but, and see, like now we're kind of, it's like a negotiation, but I want you to feel really good about this. And remember, it's for your plan, right? You see, I'm counseling here. And then I might get it to, I might walk it 700, 600, say 500, he's like, and then say it's him and his wife, they say, you know, we can do 500. I say, you sure? Like I said, I want you to start with something that you feel great about. We can do 500. I've seen this all. You know, we can do it. We can commit to it. We'll give you like a body language confirmation. Okay, great. You know, $500 a month, then you commit to it. Okay. Set the next meeting. Next time we meet, we're going to review your financial plan and go over the action steps. If everything makes sense, we will then implement your plan. All right, we're going to open you up your Roth IRA. We're going to begin the process for qualifying for life. It's a great thing. Begin the process. Begin the process for qualifying for life insurance. This is also incredible. By the way, have you gone through this process before? Right? Yeah. Dante says, yeah, man, yeah. When I had my stroke, I'm out. I left. Hey, where'd you go? I'm gone. Yeah, I was declined for that. I'm gone. I'm not, see you, email me. Right? I'm joking, but if he says that, does that change a lot on how you approach the last 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yes. Because he can't qualify for life insurance. Right? So, you know, you could ask more, you could dig, oh, what happened? Did you get rated? What company? Did you, you know, yeah, you know, I went through the process, I went through the medical exam, that's gonna happen, right? That's you being competitively intelligent at the meeting, finding out information. Now, to go back, get 2 dates, and this is why I really wanted to do this training. What does that mean? Get 2 dates. Do you know what that is? Ms. Waldo?
I guess it's just telling to come back. It's like, do you think Wednesday or Friday on the 16th or the 20th better for you? Like,
Okay, that's true. Yes, we're going to give them an alternative choice. And on a carryback, when you meet with a client, okay, what's our time frame? Huh? What's our time frame? No?
3 days, 2 to 3 days.
1 to 3 days. Okay? 1 to 3 days. You guys move fast. A week is the longest you should go out. Okay? And I'm even more specifically talking about field training. If you're field training a recruit, you're going in there as a FETHOR appointment. You're going in there, you know, meeting somebody's parents, somebody's sister, somebody's cousin. Try to go 1 to 3 days. Now look, you got to be smooth about it. So usually it takes me this information when we go back, enter it in, and I'd like to meet with you in the next couple days. And then you do the look at your phone as if your schedule's busy. Because you're not enough business. Right? It's a shoot of the scale. So. And I do it too, okay? So I do the same thing. He laughs. Every time I do it, he laughs. Like I'm looking through, he knows, right? I'm just liking posts. Right? Actually, I can meet you tomorrow. Yeah. Whoa, would you look at that?
Oh my
You
God.
got time tomorrow. Okay? But you try to go 1 to 3 days. I know that's hard, okay? But you can't go past a week. So if you ask for 1 or 3, they're gonna feel they're compromising with you to get back into a week. Also, why is it very important when you ask when I can come back or when's the next time? Because this is, you know my traffic light example, right? Red means stop, yellow means caution, green means go. If I sit down with the client, Shondel's super excited, and she goes, "Yeah, man, can we meet in 3 weeks?" It's a red. That is a red.
Yeah.
It's not yellow. And I've had clients do that all the time. They're dead face, dead ass serious. Man, this is great information. I think I'm free right after the holidays. I think it's October. Which holiday are you talking about? Thanksgiving? Columbus Day? I'm being serious. Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff going on. 3 weeks is good. No, it's a red light. You got to press now. They're not interested. That's gone. That appointment's gone.
Yeah.
What I used to say in the field when I set up that second appointment, I would say, what we want to do is want to meet back as soon as possible. The reason being is because I'm training Josh. I want him to remember what we said on the first appointment, because what I find is that way too long, I have to kind of re-present to you and him, everybody forgets. The way we can connect the first appointment, second appointment, making sure that it's so
You can repeat that in 1 second. You're using your recruit, leveraging the relationship. But say it one more time so people can.
So what we want to do is want to meet back as soon as possible because I'm training Josh. What I find is that way too long, people forget what we talked about in the first appointment. Then I kind of have to re-explain to you and to him. So in order for us to really connect the first appointment and the second appointment, we want to meet back as soon as possible. So which day is best for you?
That's great. So when I say get a second date, if I feel that they're hesitant at all,
I
Go
know
ahead.
you're asking.
yeah, go ahead.
Just set a second date, like, worst case scenario, if something comes up, we can't meet back on this day, would Friday also
Yeah.
work?
Yeah, exactly. So say I want to meet with Shondell and Mike on Wednesday, and I say, look, I got you in for Wednesday, but say she's a little hesitant, a little tentative. I say, I got you and Mike down for 8:30 on Wednesday, and I have you in. But if for whatever reason an emergency comes up, let's get a second date that we absolutely will not move from, and I'll get it for Friday, and I have 2. Okay? Because yes, there is a reality. She's probably going to reschedule that first appointment. She's going to swear up and down, but she's still going to reschedule it, right? Here's your homework. You might say something, you might give them some things to do. Hey, dig up that policy. Can you get that login information? One thing I always try to do, I know this is a little bit more difficult in Zoom. If you ever are in person, always get their driver's license. And then, when you go buy a car, they take your license and take it into the back room. And they don't let you leave. Okay? You have to employ that tactic. Get some documents that gives you a reason to come back.
Yeah.
Right? I have a client that I'm working on. She's slippery. So the other day I took some of her stuff. I said, hey, can I grab this? And then when we meet, I'll bring it back. I said, you want to make copies? And she was like, you can have it. I'm like, great. I'll come back because she needs this stuff. And I said, I'll fill it out. I'll look through it. But can I come back? We used to do that. We used to take their documents. We used to take their policy. We've asked them, obviously. We're not taking it. But we're getting a reason for us to come back, right? Collect great data, always use the same Zoom ID. Take action. Some of these action steps, we're going to send this out. We'll send the thing out so you don't need to write it all. Apply for a 30 level premium term insurance with the correct amount of protection, $525 John for married, 5 times protection for only $42 per month. Establish emergency fund, opening American Fund Money Market, $1,000, follow debt service strategy. You're going to give them some stuff. Transfer John's old 401k, open individual Roth IRAs for John and Mary for $150 a month, again saving $100 per month. Once qualified for our term insurance, cancel existing life insurance, move over the 5,600 to John's Roth IRA, right? Prepare, invest at least 2 or 3 hours, maybe 3, 2, maybe 3 on your first couple of appointments. You gotta get good. Starting out, the key if you ever use the FNA or the financial plan software, and now I know there's other ones that, you know, the company's actually looking into. I was seeing some of the other ones that they're using. I'll see if they have any, if we can utilize any of those in our stuff. Is the assumptions, create a PDF of the key pages. We never ever write this down, bring back the entire plan. Okay, that will paralyze them. Hey, I got your plan. You're gonna be out of debt in 2243. So we're banking on medical technology that will help you live for 200 years, then you can pay off this debt. Don't bring that back, man. Don't bring that back, they're done. Action step summary, I went over that possible investment material. Review it until you're totally excited about it, rehearse it mentally, have your documents on the screen ready to share in correct order, and you want to do as much for them as possible. Do not make your clients work, because then they don't need you. Help them cancel their policies, help them call the insurance companies. You know, and I want to be very clear. Obviously, there's some people that have the posture and credibility to do that. Most of us don't. Okay? Most of us don't. Invite them to the op meeting or send them. All right? All right, so we're going to come close this up. We got licensing class next week.